First day of school, I'm really nervous.
You've probably never thought twice about that big yellow vehicle that millions of children climb into every morning.
Get off the bus now!
But here's something that might shock you. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, your child is about 70 times safer riding in a school bus than in your family car. Let that sink in for a moment. 70 times safer. This extraordinary safety margin exists in a world where we obsess over car safety ratings, airbags, and the latest collision avoidance technology. Yet school buses consistently outperform the most advanced passenger vehicles. Every single day, about 480,000 school buses transport over 26 million American children to and from school. On average, only a small handful of bus passengers die each year, compared to over 40,000 total motor vehicle fatalities. So how did we create a transportation system so effective that parents should actually feel relieved when their kids get on that yellow bus? The school bus safety story began in the late 19th and early 20th centuries with horse-drawn kid hacks and early motorized conversions. They were little more than farm wagons with benches, prone to tip-overs and offering no protection. As motorized vehicles replaced horses in the early 1900s, school buses became truck bodies with wooden panels and canvas tops, creating fire hazards and structural nightmares. The transformation occurred in 1939 when Dr. Frank W. Sear organized a national conference that would change everything. This gathering produced 44 new national standards that established the foundation of modern school bus safety, including the adoption of what became National School Bus Yellow as the standard color, due to yellow being the most visible color in the dark, rain, or fog. But the real revolution came in 1977 when new federal motor vehicle safety standards from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration became effective, substantially upgrading the crashworthiness of school buses across the nation. Key safety standards emerged from this regulatory overhaul. Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard 220 established roof strength requirements, mandating roofs withstand 1.5 times the bus's unloaded weight with no more than 5 1/8 inches of crush. Standard 221 mandated body joint strength requirements to prevent structural collapse. Standard 222 introduced the revolutionary concept of compartmentalization through high-backed, well-padded seats. Standard 217 established emergency exit requirements. And Standard 131 required pedestrian safety devices like stop signal arms. Additional standards like 111 addressed mirror systems, and 301 covered fuel system integrity. The path to modern school bus safety was not a smooth one, and the lessons learned came at a terrible cost. Early motorized school buses suffered from catastrophic structural failures during crashes. Roofs would collapse, side panels would separate, and the basic truck chassis couldn't handle the unique stresses of passenger transport. Fire was a constant threat due to exposed fuel systems and flammable materials used in construction. Most critically, early buses had no systematic approach or regulations to occupant protection. When accidents occurred, the results were devastating because there was no engineered system to manage crash energy or protect passengers during impact. Beyond structural failures, the boarding process created additional hazards. Limited driver visibility, inconsistent traffic control, and lack of standardized procedures resulted in pedestrian fatalities that historically exceeded passenger deaths inside buses. These early failures taught safety engineers necessary lessons about the unique requirements of school transportation. Designers had to assume inconsistent use of safety equipment by children and account for residential pickup in complex traffic. The solution would require engineering the safety directly into the vehicle and the operating procedures, rather than depending on user behavior. Compartmentalization uses closely spaced, high-backed seats with energy-absorbing padding to create protective envelopes around each passenger. Here's how it works. During a frontal crash, passengers are thrown forward, but immediately caught by the padded seat back in front of them. The seats are positioned close enough together that even small children can't slide under them, and the padding is engineered to absorb impact energy gradually rather than stopping motion abruptly. The entire system works in conjunction with reinforced body structures that maintain compartment integrity. Meeting federal roof strength requirements, the entire body structure is designed as an integrated safety cage that distributes crash forces throughout the frame rather than concentrating them at impact points. The wide track, long wheelbase, and specially tuned suspension systems dramatically reduce rollover risk compared to other large vehicles. Because school buses are substantially heavier than passenger cars, the physics of collisions work in their favor. Deceleration forces are more gradual, and the bus tends to push through obstacles with less deflection or penetration. However, seatbelt requirements differ by bus size. Smaller buses under approximately 10,000 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating typically requires seatbelts, while larger buses rely on compartmentalization. Modern school bus safety uses redundancy principles borrowed from aviation and nuclear power. No single system failure can compromise passenger protection because multiple independent safety layers work together. The structural cage provides passive protection during crashes. The compartmentalization system protects occupants without requiring any action from passengers. Emergency egress systems ensure survivability even if the primary exit is blocked. Advanced visibility systems eliminate dangerous blind spots through strategically positioned mirrors and increasingly common 360-degree camera systems with perimeter monitoring to detect children near the vehicle. Many districts report significant reductions in side impact incidents through AI-powered collision avoidance pilot programs. The pedestrian protection system extends the safety envelope beyond the bus itself. Stop signal arms create a physical barrier that forces passing traffic to maintain safe distances. The standard 8-lamp warning system with amber to red flashing lights provides visual warnings that trigger legally mandated traffic stops. On undivided roads, traffic in both directions must stop for school buses. On divided highways, stop requirements for oncoming traffic vary by state. Extended crossing gates on some buses create an even larger protected zone around loading areas. Emergency exit systems include multiple side doors, roof hatches, and push-out windows that can be operated even by young children. Engine interlocks prevent the bus from starting if any emergency exit is open, reducing the risk of operator error. Some newer systems include automated external lighting that activates during emergency evacuations to help first responders locate and assist passengers. Even the best engineering cannot overcome human error, so school bus safety systems are designed to minimize reliance on perfect operator performance while maximizing the effectiveness of proper training. Driver certification programs focus heavily on loading zone procedures, mirror usage, and rail crossing protocols because these situations present the highest risk scenarios. Rail crossing protocol represents one of the most systematic approaches to human factors in transportation. Universal procedures require drivers to stop 15 to 50 feet before the tracks, open the door and window to listen and look for trains before crossing. Buses must cross without shifting gears on the tracks. Some districts are piloting GPS-based train alert systems to remove guesswork and provide real-time information about approaching trains. This represents the kind of technological assistance that enhances human decision-making rather than replacing it. A critical human factor involves the behavior of other motorists around school buses. Stop-arm violations remain a persistent problem despite severe legal penalties. Many districts have implemented advanced stop-arm camera systems that automatically document violations, resulting in significant reductions in violations. Training extends beyond professional drivers to include the students themselves. Student education programs teach children to maintain visual contact with the driver, to stay within designated safe areas, and to follow specific protocols when crossing streets near the bus while minimizing time in high-risk zones. The school bus safety story offers lessons for transportation systems beyond student transport. The success of compartmentalization proved that passive protection systems can be more reliable than active systems that depend on user compliance. The emphasis on systematic procedures and redundant safety layers shows how human factors can be managed through good design rather than simply demanding perfect performance. International comparisons also show different approaches to achieving similar safety outcomes. United Kingdom, Australian, and Canadian systems more commonly use seatbelts as an additional protection layer on dedicated school transport coaches. Japanese school transportation relies on smaller van-style buses with mandatory belt usage and heavy emphasis on pedestrian safety infrastructure. Much of Europe integrates students into public transit systems with greater emphasis on street design and speed management, rather than vehicle-specific safety rules. Many international systems also allow more flexible passing rules, permitting cautious overtaking without the absolute stop-arm authority common in the United States. These different approaches demonstrate how cultural, regulatory, and infrastructure factors influence safety system design. The American model of large, high-capacity buses with compartmentalization and strict stop-arm laws works well in suburban and rural environments with distributed pickup points. Urban environments with shorter routes and higher traffic density might benefit more from smaller vehicles and infrastructure-based safety improvements. The most important lesson from school bus safety is that extraordinary protection is possible through systematic engineering, proper procedures, and sustained commitment to improvement. The 70-fold safety advantage over private vehicles was achieved by decades of focused effort to understand risks, develop solutions, and continuously refine systems based on real-world experience. As transportation technology continues advancing toward autonomous vehicles and smart infrastructure, the school bus experience demonstrates that the most effective safety improvements often come from understanding human behavior and engineering systems that work reliably in real-world conditions. Sometimes the most innovative approach is building robust, simple systems that perform consistently rather than chasing the latest high-tech solutions.